Hello, welcome back to this stream. So we're just gonna play the rest of these matches with this Eldrazi ramp deck. Just a reminder, our main goal is just to power out some big things, and then we do have some equipment to allow us to trample through. But the big thing is to try to get Breaker of Creation out, because he's an Annihilator, and he also can't be targeted, so although he's weak on defense, nothing that a Colossal Dreadmask wouldn't fix. The other kind of sub-goal is just to make lots of Eldrazi spawn to make a giant Writhing Chrysalis. You can also use Strength of the Harvest to make a giant thing. And Glaring Fleshraker is a card that does a lot of work on its own. Lots of the Eldrazi come in with a buddy. And so every time, a card like this usually just does like 1 damage per turn, but most of the time this guy, since he also creates a spawn, it can do as much as 4 damage a turn with certain sets of cards that you may have. So this thing does some work. We do have a really good suite of lands to get us what we need. We also, the cool thing about these special lands here is they get you the color when you need them, and they also function as colorless when you don't need the actual color. So they're really important. I probably picked them higher than I should, but I still think people in general should be picking them higher than they think, just because of what they do for you. They give you a lot of versatility, especially in this environment where you're probably going to have 3 colors, or where you're probably going to need some way to guarantee that you get 2 colors of something, like here. This game goes on without me drawing lands. I'm hurting for forests. Because of Twisted Landscape, I can get that second forest if it doesn't come to me from the top of my deck. But in this case, this is an important land for me because it gets me my Glaring Fleshraker early. I think I am going to... I may cycle this Ravager. I'm going to wait till end step. Oh no, looks like we've got plays. Getting this guy's a 3/1 early is good. My goal with this guy is to try and get them down to 14. If we can do that, I think that actually is a win. We can also trade with their 3-drop, and we'd be happy. Because we only spent 2 mana on this Void Bouncer. Yeah, they kill one of the best creatures in my deck, as expected. I mean, if they can do it, they're going to. Serum Visionary is going to be great here. This will dig us for hopefully our next land. Yeah, we don't need... well, actually, because of the double. Well, I think we actually want an island more than this. Yeah, because well, actually I think we need them both, to tell you the truth, because we're going to need double island, and we're also going to need double forest, and this is a good way to guarantee that and still make sure that we have a colorless source. So yeah, I do think that was the best thing. We're going to be able to cast our Eldrazi Ravager, and we're going to follow up with a Dreadmask. This guy we might even cast without kicking. It's probably going to be better to kick it. Well, you get one of the things even if you don't kick it. So we may be in a spot where the cards don't really matter. That's how I'm going to play it. This is nice here. He had to cast this guy late, and he's probably just going to trade against mine. But this means that I do have an attack open with the Visionary. Now I could use Depth Defiler here to bounce his Void Pouncer and then just get 5 more damage in. I think that actually puts him on the back foot enough that I think it's worth doing. Guarantees that he either recasts this thing, maybe he gets it as a better creature. Ooh, that was pretty good. Yeah, because if he puts down a land that's colorless, then he can kick this. He can't kick it. So I've kept him, at least I've kept him doing things that are somewhat not advantageous. What does this guy do? Oh yeah, he's the guy that Emperor Bones. He's cool. He basically allows you to, every time he gets a counter, he lets you create the thing. It's kind of a sacrifice deck thing. He makes a token basically of this. Well, it's not a token. He puts this into play with the finality counter. Finality counter means that when it dies, it goes to the exile zone. And so that's neat. It's a way to kind of steal the opponent's stuff, but I don't know if it's going to be great here. If he's got more removal for this big annihilator, we're in trouble, but he just used 2 early removals. Good cards. Nothing wrong with them. But, ooh, adapt happens at sorcery speed, or instant speed, doesn't it? That's kind of dumb on my part. Just gave away a 2/2. Now the 2/2 is not a game piece that's really going to matter for me. Wait, what happened there? Oh yeah, that's the one thing that does kind of suck. By doing that, it made it to. Oh, look at that! He did kill the Ravager. Now the Ravager is one of those things that you kind of don't mind them killing because you should have ways to get it back. We are in a bit of a spot here. We've got a dead turn next turn. Oh, that's right. He got to remove. That's a problem. Okay, so we need to be able to sacrifice to get a forest. We want to keep this one in case we want to get a swamp later. Do we have a? I don't even remember if this deck has. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have need of swamps. So you actually, let's see. Oh, I thought this was the other. I thought this was the Lord. Shoot. I think we actually do want to bounce. His Emperor bounce. It doesn't give us our guy back, but it does give us an attack. And basically the game plan is to just get Colossal Red Mask rolling. With how much he's used removal, I think that's going to be our big scary path. We're going to get a free 6/6. That's going to outclass anything he currently has on the table and has shown us that he has. We're at risk though, because that Emperor Bones, it can pick up something scary, but right now the best thing for it to pick up is the Burning Frustrator. Skittering Precursor is not going to be enough for him here, I don't think. He's going to be able to team block against my Germ token. He's also going to, he could team block against the Depth Defiler. Did he get the Serum Visionary? That's a good one for him to take. Yeah, so let's see here. So attacking, he just does the thing. I think we just make a big 6/6 trampler. Then do we go ahead and pop this? No, we still need access to colorless. And that is our access to colorless right now. So even though we still have a 1 in almost 3? No, it's a little slightly over 3. Slightly over 1 in 3 chance to get lands that we don't need at this point. It's still a thing. That was good for him. He got a extra card. That's not exciting. It's not exciting at all. So he's basically playing an artifact deck or something? I don't know. This is very weird. I'm not sure what exactly is going on. He's going to lose the Visionary here, so he may as well send it in. I'll go ahead and put the Depth Defiler in front of it, because I want to get a smack with this Dreadmask guy, just in case he does have some way to level my guy. Alright, so more than likely, he just team blocks here. But I'm okay with that. Sucks that I don't have my Flesh Raker. I could have gotten a lot of, you know, incidental extra damage in. Let's go ahead and kill the Emperor. Wait a second. I'm going to get rid of both precursors. The precursors I can have to having a good offensive. And I have a good offensive next turn when I attack with a 13/13 Vigilance. So, you know, each turn this game goes on, with the mana state the way that it is, we've each got 7 lands. We're going to be casting good things. Anything that we do cast is going to be typically good, or assumedly good. Okay, fair enough. Can't do anything about that. It's lame for him here because, I mean, he's not really getting anything super exciting when he's reanimating. But, I mean, he's got to do something. Okay, so, doing the quick math, he can kill me if he team blocks. So, we are going to go ahead and get in there here, try to get his whole board if he's going to block. We trample, so we don't care if he throws, you know, like a little guy in front. Now this is great. This is kind of what we want. We're just going to wipe his whole board. Now, if he's got some sort of board wiping spell, he's going to need it. And that's the beauty of Colossal Dreadmask, really. That trample is everything. Because now I just get to, I could even equip this germ. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn right here. I could play out Emrakul's Messenger, but if he does have that that Wrath that I'm afraid of, then game's over. If he has nothing, game's over. So, and there we go. There was no reason to play that Messenger to the board. Now, if I had anything in my hand that would allow me to draw an extra card at some point, I might change my mind. But then again, what's one more Eldrazi spawn? Because that's all that extra card ability does. Just makes another Eldrazi spawn, which we don't really care about. I'm going to check the store real quick. I haven't checked it today. If you don't do this, it's a good idea. Just sometime during the day, after 11 or 12, I forget exactly what time, the new deals refresh, and that's when you get all the daily deals for things like draft tokens, and every once in a while they do like a gem for gold, or vice versa, gold for gem ability in that store. And it doesn't happen all the time, but it's one great way to keep things a little cheaper. Alright, so we're at 3 wins. I'm going to try to keep going. As usual, my primary goal is to get to 4. That's when you're getting ahead, but of course if you get to 7, then that's really good. What a fantastic hand, but it does get to the Dreadmask. It's going to be really sad if it's the only thing that we're looking to do. but we have all of our colors, and basically we're going to have the option to be able to get the double color that we need. Should we draw something else that requires double color, we can get forest from either one of these. And I think the one that I should sacrifice is the sheltering landscape, because the other purpose for it in this deck is to get a mountain. Since we have a mountain, we're good. And I don't believe we have any double cost mountain stuff either. So this is our Eldrazi Lord. Kind of sucks that it's our first play, because it's the first thing that's going to get eaten by a removal spell. But that's okay too. It turns out that this deck, the flagship thing in this deck is not the Eldrazi Lord. The flagship thing in this deck is probably the Ravagers and the Breaker of Creation. Not to mention the support that the two equipments give for those tools. Don't really want to sacrifice either one of these yet. This is kind of bad right here. I do think on end step I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice the Eldrazi Ravager. We're basically digging for like Writhing Chrysalis right here, because if we get the Writhing Chrysalis, we'll be able to get this guy back anyway. And also grow the Chrysalis too, so we'll have two scary threats on the board instead of just one. That's a sad thing to have come from the top. But not the worst. I think we do wait to cast it though, because the tempo swing is going to be better than the damage that he does by being on the table, and more than likely he plays a 4-drop next turn and outclasses this anyway. So we'll just wait. We want to bounce something just to get that tempo. It's like getting a time walk basically. Okay, so now this is a compelling reason to go get an island if we can. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now this allows us 2 turns of bouncing, which is going to be useful. We're just building up to 7 mana too, so we can get this Drownyard Lurker into play. So I think it is worth it. Oh, this is interesting. Let's play Glimpse the Impossible first. We might get like a 2-drop or something. Ooh, those are like the worst things to have go into the pot there. I couldn't have known here. I shouldn't have tapped the forest, but I couldn't have known that. So we're just getting 3 Eldrazi tokens here, but that's okay because our fail case was to get the Ravager back, so we've done that. And this feels pretty good here because he's just spinning his wheels over there. The card is good. It's going to get him. The extra cards are good. They're going to get him into the game in a way, but they're not going to be, I think, fast enough for what he really needs to do. Because we're going to start annihilating if he doesn't have an answer for this Ravager. And I do think that is the priority. We play that now so that we can get to annihilating. We're a little sad if he does something like simple, like bounce this. If he kills it again, we're not as sad because we've got the Drownyard Lurker on tap. We can just draw a card with the Visionary, try to advance our board a little bit. Just make sure we get to that 7 mana. This deck seems to be pretty happy once it hits the 7 mana point. There's everything that it can cast, and one Eldrazi Spawn token gets it gets the breaker creation too. Rose Colored Night, what do you do? Not going to be enough, my friend. I don't know what he can do with that solitary blue mana here. Probably nothing. I don't think I want to bounce that guy. Oh, this is nice. We get to keep our landscape or sacrifice it when we want. So hopefully what we do here is we just annihilate and keep him constantly behind on resources. When he does play something scary that can block, we can Depth Defiler, we can Escape Battle Mage. It's going to be good. Go ahead and make our biggest thing a Scary Marker. Another, basically a shield for the Ravager, because we've got two guys that we can easily sacrifice to get it back. Kenku Future Shaper, what do you do? Oh, that's interesting. This actually penalizes us for playing bounce. And it's a nice way to put counters. That's an interesting card. These creatures are not exciting, but they can get out of control. And you can use your own effects too. So if you've got flicker effects, that's interesting. I'd like to try to do a blue-black deck with something like this. Or sorry, a blue-white deck. So yeah, that's cool. So you can get this ability off of sacrificing those sack lands. It's really neat. So the idea is you just get a bunch of these tokens and then you start to power them up. Definitely cool. It's going to be too slow here, I think. And while his stuff is... what do we do? We do this. Go ahead and kick it. We're going to bounce the token. He only gets more tokens when it's non-token permanents. So we'll just keep him from getting that critical mass that he needs, and we'll be just fine. We can play the Nightshade Dryad here because it doesn't really do anything if we, get board wiped or something. We're not feeling bad about that. Yeah, I think we've just got this one. Just based on the fact that we're just so far ahead on resources and are going to stay that way. He probably needs the double block here. He doesn't want to, but he probably needs to. And I think, it's got to be the Ravager. He's got to get that, and then I just get it back. So it's not looking good. It's probably just gonna let the clock run out. He's going AFK. Oh, there we go. No. It's the right thing to do. Alright, so we hit our goal of 4 wins, which is great. Now let's see if we can get to 7. 4. Perfect. 5 is really the point where you're really ahead. Gems. 4 just gets you the ranking. So this hand is missing. It's colorless, but we do get a way to claim it with Glimpse the Impossible. I'd really hope to get something before that though, and since we do have a decent amount of colorless lands, 6, 9, 12, 15, pretty low chance of drawing them here though. Not with 3 extra draws though. It would just be really nice to have the Fleshraker out first before we cast Glimpse the Impossible, because it'll deal a good chunk of damage without even attacking. But it looks like our first spell is going to be... Well, we might cycle the Drowning Berserker. Oh no, this is good. First spell is Fleshraker. He probably kills it, but if he doesn't, we get to do lots of cool stuff. This guy's pretty good. I like it. The thing you gotta remember is that he can adapt at instant speed. He has to know that me trading here is not something I want to do, so. Gonna cycle one of these lurkers. Not excited about that, but I think it's something to do. We're just gonna have to take some more damage. So he's building up his resources here. Lots of extra cards, making sure he's hitting his land drops. He gave away a nonsense game piece. He's also setting up to be able to do it again. It's Menace now, which I wasn't going to block it anyway, although I could now to kill it. I just lose both of my things, and I don't think I want to lose both of my things. Now we'll do Glimpse here first. Doing that so that if I get a land from it, I can play that land. Perfect. We'll go ahead and attack the Fleshraker because it's not blocking. And now we can put out Breaker of Creation. And the nice thing about this not being able to be targeted. Ooh. Glad he can cast that now. I do lose my one of my key cards, but I would not want to lose this guy. Put left right here. Yeah. He's kind of all in on this Dreambreaker Vampires. Very good card. Gets Menace every time it gets a counter. And we're down to 7 life. That's bad. Real bad. I don't even think Breaker Creation is going to save the day. And the reason here is because of the Menace. Oh, we did get to gain some life from Breaker Creation. I forgot about that. He gains life for the number of colorless things you have, which include your lands, so it's a great way to catch yourself back up if you're behind. How did he target it? Oh, because it's devoid. It's hexproof from color, because it's a devoid spell. He got me. That's like the one card that I can think of that does that job. I'm sure there's plenty of other devoid spells actually, but that's pretty good. And yeah, think I can come back from that. Because that exiled it too, so like even if I had some sort of reanimate effect. Stun something. Or just make a big thing. I think making the big thing's right because then we've got some choke blockers. He just got me too well too early. It's not over, but now it is. Yeah. Because I have one turn left here. No, that's it. Do I have anything that wraths? Nope. Yeah, I'm toast. So that's a game where I think I probably could have or should have blocked the Dream Drinker Vampire early because it was responsible for the majority of that damage. And that is the end of this draft. Let's see here. We do have enough material to go ahead and flip into another one. So we'll do that. But, thanks for joining. That is how the Eldrazi ramp is done. It just didn't get to the full 7 wins. And I'd say what was missing. Most of my removal was bounce removal instead of exile or kill removal, and then the other thing is it was very vulnerable to flying. That is going to be one of the things that can happen with the Eldrazi decks. There's also a lot of surprising Eldrazi cards that have reach. I do think that when you're drafting you should be looking out for some of those. And if you don't get them, you need some of the spells like there's a kill spell that hits flying creatures. Nice thing about that too is it's cycling, so when you've got a slow start you can just get rid of it. Well, that's it for now on this one. Go ahead and stop that and come back for another draft.